This week in Weird Giraffe Games.
Hi, I'm Carla from Weird Giraffe Games, and this is This Week with Weird Giraffe Games. This is a look into the life of a publisher, so you can get to know like what a publisher does on the day-to-day, but also get to know us a little bit more. If you don't know us, we make games that have classic mechanisms, but with a twist of weird. Kind of like Fire in the Library, Logic and Lore, Way Too Many Cats, like 20 other games. We're still a small publisher, but we've been around for a bit, so maybe you will know a little bit some of our games.
Yeah, hi, I'm Nick from Weird Giraffe Games. I've been helping out from behind the scenes since we started back almost 10 years ago now, but recently had an opportunity to come work more in front of the scenes and a lot more on this, and I'm excited to see where we're growing.
So, also an important part of this series is that both me and Nick got super burnout the last couple years, and we're trying to figure out how to both be passionate about what we do and be productive, but also in a healthy, sustainable way, because if you don't, you'll burn out, you'll get sick, like you won't be able to deal with things like tariffs. And other things that are kind of out of your control. So now let's get to it and talk about what happened this week.
Yeah, let's talk about what happened this week. So we were playtesting some games. We were playtesting a sequel to, or a follow-on to Logic and Lore, because Logic and Lore has been doing so great. We've probably going to do a second print run of that, and that second print run is going to come with a whole bunch of new cool content, like maybe a game called Logic and Larks. What's Logic and Larks? 2 to 4 player small deduction game about trying to figure out what mythical birds each player saw while bird watching.
So in the last, it was like a week or two before Gen Con, Logic and Lore hit retail stores, and we almost sold out. That got me started thinking about the reprint, or doing a reprint in general. And usually, Kickstarter does not allow you to just put like things that don't change on Kickstarter. One of my friends had a deduction game that he's been working on for a while. I talked to him, maybe we'll do that. But also, at the same time, I started getting an idea for a Logic and Lore campaign. So we only needed one new thing. We might have 2 or 3 new things.
Would you like a campaign for Logic and Lore? That's exciting.
I mean, yeah. And we're also working on another campaign game that's a deck builder. That'll be like years from now, but games take like 5 years to make anyway, so we definitely have to get started sooner rather than later.
Yeah, playtesting that upcoming campaign game has been a blast. We're going to do that again. I can't wait, and I can't wait to share more about it with you guys in the future. For me, I've been working on just accounting, taxes, and boring kind of stuff. A lot was happening earlier in tax season, and if you don't know, you can submit an extension for taxes. Well, that extension is due September 15th, so that is coming up soon, and we have to get that done.
Along the lines with the boring, it's like there's so many emails to answer when you're a publisher, especially since we were at Gen Con earlier this month, and a lot of things were kind of put to the side to take care of Gen Con and then be there for a week, and then we were designing for a week at a retreat. So a lot of emails are they just have to be answered, and every email then gets a response, so that took up a good portion of the week.
Yeah, we're getting through all the emails, trying to get everybody who needs something and hasn't been fulfilled from other campaigns, get them fulfilled, moving our back stock of games from one warehouse to another warehouse, getting the other games onto online platforms so people can buy them or get them fulfilled easily, like Amazon and Walmart.com, and just dealing with a whole bunch of the government regulations, red tape that has to deal with when you're making games. That's been not fun to deal with, but I've been learning, and so it's been a great growth experience for me.
Yeah, it turns out that not everything with games is fun. So it's not all fun and games. There's also taxes and emails and just responding over and over and hoping that somebody does the thing that we want them to do, that we're paying them to do. You would think that the money would be the incentive, but sometimes it requires more.
Yeah, well, and some of those emails have been finishing up and putting the final touches on Reef and Ruins, which is coming up soon, and a surplus of Sloths coming out soon. So, Carly, you've been working on Reef and Ruins stuff, right?
Yeah, you keep on bringing up the things that are on my list for some reason.
Oh, no.
I don't know why.
I feel like
yeah.
I got to the end of my list.
Yeah, and well, you started with mine, and I was like, okay, that's how this is going. But that's fine, I guess. Whatever. But yeah, I've been working with manufacturing and things, getting feedback from playtesting on some new different sheets. I had talked a lot with manufacturing, around the Kickstarter, but with tariffs, things have changed. I initially kind of wanted to ignore that they were happening because I was like, you know what, they don't make sense. Maybe they'll just go away. And it turns out that ignoring them for 6 months was not the solution. So I have to go over all the decisions I made pre-tariff, and see what makes sense, what's doable, what changes can be made to make this a more successful game in our current era, without just putting my head in the sand.
Yeah.
So, and along with that, also looking at our entire schedule, because the schedule was a plan pre-tariff, and some projects don't make sense. Other projects had to be pushed up a little bit because in June I did not anticipate that we would need another reprint of Logic and Lore so soon. I mean, to be fair, in December I thought it was going to hit retail in January instead of taking an extra 6 months to hit retail. So nothing really goes to schedule. It's very fluid of a schedule, and I've gotten really used to that. But now more bigger changes because tariffs.
Yeah. Well, speaking of schedules, now scheduling, finally been able to have more time to schedule regular board game nights and actually play board games again, publish board games. I got to play Space Base this week. Got to play Dune Imperium. I really liked that. It was a really cool mixture of deck building and worker placement, area control, resource management. Super tight game. What a great design. And very thematic with the movies. I thought that was pretty awesome. And I got to play Root, one of the expansions. I played the Duchy as the mole people and got to burrow around the map and got destroyed by the Grand Marquis because cats, I guess, always win.
I mean, cats are pretty cool.
Yeah.
While Nick was out playing board games, I was at home freaking out because I have surgery next week. So instead of going and being around people, I instead reorganized all of our game design stuff and got rid of things. And it wasn't as fun as playing board games would be, but it did calm me down, just going through everything and getting rid of things that I genuinely don't actually need. After, I don't know, years of that, I've never gotten rid of things before. That's never something I was taught, and it's hard. But overall, now I know where all my prototypes actually are. I've actually found so many more games that I've designed than I even remembered that I designed. So yeah, that's pretty cool, and that's happened at a good time because I'm doing the schedule, and it's also, hey, reminder, I made this 5 years ago. Why didn't I finish it? Or is now the right time for it? Maybe. Is the world finally ready for Puffins Love Muffins? I mean, I would like that, but we will see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, and I think the reorganization has been a great. Physically, everything has looked amazing in the house, and all of the files are getting reorganized, and we have Asana tasks now. It's awesome. Project management happening.
Yeah, it's not fun again, but like being able to like not have clutter everywhere, even if it's just like online, and our online storage and stuff means that everything is faster and easier, and I don't have to like search for 45 minutes for a file that I know is there. It was there. Where could it be? Who knows? And then I just get frustrated and nothing happens. So yeah, maybe we'll do that more often. Especially because, like, well, we've been running a company for almost 10 years now. And we just keep switching. Like, we went from Dropbox to Nextcloud to Drive and back to Dropbox and then back to Drive, and everything is everywhere. And, you know, there's some legacy stuff that you don't have to deal with when you are a new company.
Yeah.
And, like, going from the next new thing to the next one, you have to clean up. It's being an adult, I guess, but in a more company sense.
Yeah, code cleanup. Yeah. So, but we're also doing some other stuff. Not doing too many. Trying to like keep it and be aware of potentially burning out, and want to keep on improving and keep on going. So we're going outside and getting some exercise. I'm doing some physical fitness challenges on my Facebook page. If you want to join us in our physical, mental, emotional fitness, you can follow me on Facebook and comment and on all of the fun stuff that we're doing outside.
Yeah, I definitely don't post as many videos as Nick does, but I post occasionally about all the things, and I post a lot of memes. So
Yeah.
if you're into that. That's it for us this week. If you're doing anything to be like more aware of your burnout and mental status, while still trying to like, keep to the grind and improve on stuff or complete things, let us know in the comments.
Yeah. All right. See you next week.